The views and opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of our partners, hosts, or affiliates. Our goal is to support short track racing and the dedicated men and women who make it possible while providing entertainment for our listeners. Now, sit back, enjoy the show, and let's hear the stories.
They said, one day you're going to wake up and realize that you spent your whole life with this racing deal.
Your fingerprint.
Yeah.
You could see
Oh,
you could see your thumbprint.
These are qualifying tires.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Only.
Yeah. Sid
absolutely.
said you could have taken these tires and stuck them on the wall and come back 20 minutes later and they'd still be stuck to the wall.
So
And you haven't experienced anything else.
Broke the chump, spun out, hit the inside wall, red flagged the race for about an hour because we broke the pit wall.
Oh, wow.
So my claim to fame is I got to stop a NASCAR race for at least an hour and a half.
And you've missed out on a lot of other things.
We hit those barriers, and I didn't close my eyes or nothing. I seen the windshield distort, and just before we got to the barriers, we got separated. When it's all over with, there's a barrier laying on the hood, probably on the carburetor, and then there's a barrier right here by me.
And my comment back was, yeah, but I did exactly what I wanted to do.
I want to know the stories. I want to hear the stories. Hey guys, welcome back to the Short Track Shakedown, brought to you today by 5-Star Medicare and Blackwater Bookkeeping. I am Josh Goodwin alongside Jake Moore. Mr. Jake, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited about this episode.
Yes, it is going. I think that this is going to be one of the best episodes we've done so far. I'm super excited to talk with this gentleman. He is a true legend, pioneer. He has helped racers for over 50 years. He's a former mayor of Century. He is an innovator. It will be Freddie Wayne McCall. We're going to be joined with Mr. Freddie Wayne today with Micha McCall and Micha's son Owen. And we're just going to sit down and have a great conversation. I can't wait to dig into it.
Yeah, everybody in racing has heard the name Freddie Wayne McCall. If you haven't, you're not a local
You're
racer.
living under a rock.
He's got one of the oldest stories and some of the coolest stories from running moonshine and getting into racing and going back to like the pioneers of where racing came from. He lived a part of that, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah. Well, let's get him in the room, Jake.
Let's do it. Hey, Josh.
Yes, sir.
We've started talking a lot about the start of the 2025 racing season. Do you know what other season to start?
What season is that, Jake?
That's going to be tax season.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and Steph over at Blackwater Bookkeeping can help you get your return filled without even leaving your house.
Oh, that would be nice.
Steph not only does taxes, but she can also help your small business with all your bookkeeping needs. From startups to cleanups, she can get it done. Give her a call or text today, 850-290-3043.
Well, Mr. Freddie Wayne, thank you so much for being here with us today, and Micah, you as well. Thank y'all for making the trip down here to the Molino area. I guess y'all come from Century, didn't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Have you always been in Century, Mr. Freddie Wayne?
Born and raised in Century.
Born and raised in Century, Florida. Did you go to school up there?
Yes, sir.
Up there at Century High School?
Graduated Century High School in 59.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Freddie Wayne, tell me some family history. Tell me about your mom and dad. And you said you went to school at Century High School, and what did you do back in the day?
I worked at a service station for a long time and wound up and bought it.
Yes, sir.
And run it there for several years, but
was that a gas station right there in Century?
Gulf Oil service station, the intersection, Highway 4 going to J and Pensacola Highway 29.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I lived in a house trailer right behind the service station.
Right there by the railroad tracks?
Yeah.
No doubt. That is too cool. Tell me about your mom and daddy.
They was definitely against my racing.
Were they really?
I had to do it on the sly, try to keep them from knowing what I was doing.
Yes, sir. So what year was that? What year did you start racing?
in the early 80s.
No, it was before then. You were still were you doing it in high school?
Yeah.
So it
59.
had been early 50s.
Yeah.
Now, Flompton was built in 61. Where'd you race at before Flompton opened up? Just out in the parking lot?
Oakfield Speedway in Pensacola.
Oakfield, where?
That's out toward the old Navy base.
Yeah.
Mobile Highway.
Mobile Highway. I think
Yeah.
I think that's where Walmart's at now on Mobile Highway, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember, but I know it's out on Mobile Highway.
Well,
We'd always go to the chicken box when we left there.
That is too cool. Well, what year did you and Miss Margie get married?
68.
68.
we might have to edit that part out.
Yeah.
We'll double check the accuracy on it. I'll get back with you.
That's too funny.
We don't want nobody getting in trouble.
Right, nobody get in trouble. So I was told a story that she didn't like your racing either. What? Tell me about that. What happened?
She learned to live with it
Did she?
because she was convinced I was going to do it, whether she liked it or not.
Right.
But she was my best fan before it was over with.
Yeah, I seen some pictures of her. She, I think you outkicked your coverage on that deal.
Yeah, she was against it, but when it was wound up, she was hanging in the fence, about halfway up the fence.
There was one, I think she was pregnant, and she was giving you the down the road about racing. I mean, just giving you the blues about it. And what did you tell her?
We was living in a house trailer behind the service station, but she was carrying on about it, and she was going to leave. I got up, went out the door. I said, "Don't let the screen door hit you in the ass when you go out.
Oh, Lord.
And when you go out, you're gone. You're
Right.
not coming back."
Right.
I said, "You tell your daddy that you home to stay, that you ain't coming back."
Right.
So when I got back, she was still home.
Right.
But no, you saw her a little bit later that night over at the racetrack. She wasn't going to come around, and she was leaving, but then you lined up for the racetrack. You was out there taking the parade laps, and y'all took the green flag, and she was about 6-8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And what was she doing?
She was hanging up on the fence with the arm through the fence. Motion me, come on.
To the front. That is too funny.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
She got so far into it. She was pretty good on the powder puff trail too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she done good with it. She won a lot of races.
No doubt.
We got a picture of her somewhere around here.
Yeah, I seen it earlier. She was sitting. I think she was sitting in it.
Yeah, I think it's in one of the old books. But
Yeah.
That's one with her and him outside the car.
yeah, what? Can't really see the number. You recognize anything on that car?
That old Chevelle. Chevy too.
Yeah.
So you were racing at Oakfield and stuff like that before Flompton opened.
Yeah.
And that was all dirt track stuff.
Dirt track.
So
Flat dirt.
flat dirt. No, there was no banking.
No banking.
No banking. So you, we were talking earlier before we started recording. So you said your first car was a jalopy. Is that what they called it? Was that what the class was called?
Yeah. 34.
31.
No, 40 Ford coupe. I went to Montgomery, bought it off of Montgomery Speedway.
Well, you had that 31 Model A before that now. The little rag top on it?
Yeah. But then I graduated up to the 40.
Yeah. So the Oakfield, the one you run at Oakfield was the 31, and that's what you started. A few years later when Flompton was built, that's what you started over there too.
Yeah.
And tell them about the hard top, rag top.
Rag top, cloth top, felt top, and it had rotted out and it was wide open.
Oh, wow.
So when you went over the hill with it, you put your head down in the steering wheel as low as you could get it and held on tight so your head wouldn't be bumping the ground when you were flipping.
Oh my gosh! So tell me about the safety back then. Was there roll cages in the cars yet?
Yeah, we had good roll cages, but just shudder when I think about some of the things we done back then, like that no top on it, and half-ass harnesses.
Right. Tell me about the harnesses and what kind of safety stuff did y'all have back then?
We got stuff out of airplanes that was abandoned.
Right.
You used harnesses and the seat belts and the seats out of them. They were straight back seats.
Like jumper seats almost?
Like uncomfortable as ever been.
Y'all were just tough back then.
But we'd pad them up with pillars and what have you, and not even paying no attention, just go on with it.
Did you have goggles or
Yeah.
just old shell helmet?
Sand goggles, open face helmet, so the goggles would fit good.
You just have to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Daggone. And racing dirt like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That is
Would you have to wipe them off if you got dirt on them? I guess there wasn't no tear-offs on them.
No tear-offs back in them days.
What'd you do? Carry your rag and just wipe your goggles?
I had one tucked in my driver's suit. I'd pull it out and wipe it off every now and then.
Now, tell them about this driving suit. What kind of driving suit did you have?
T-shirt and Levi's.
They made them Levi's tough back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire retardant Levi's.
Them old rocks was a little rough on the hands, too, so
Oh, yeah.
throw you some welding gloves on. And
Yep, put on some welding gloves and held tight and went for it.
Damn. How fast were y'all running back then? I mean, I'm sure y'all were going wide open, but how fast were y'all running?
Jeez, I don't know. Probably 70 miles an hour on a quarter-mile dirt.
That's hauling ass.
Yeah.
that's moving.
Yeah.
That's moving. Old flatheads?
Yeah. Yeah, what was it? Was it a flathead V8 or?
We started off with the flathead V8s, and I was one of the first ones that put the V8 Chevrolet in.
Really?
Yeah.
That is too cool.
Start of an era.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're getting ready to find out just how innovative Mr. McCall was.
What got you into like what actually got you involved in like just mechanics and working on the cars? Was it just racing or
Just racing. I grew up reading books. I didn't have the cars to work on, but I was hot rod books, all kind of stories and building engines and what have you. So when I got in the service station business where I could handle my own way and do what I wanted to do, then I started building my cars.
Most back in those days, most service stations had a race car because that was like the only form of advertisement y'all had, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was about it.
Man, that is
and tell me about that the gas station with the service station. You as far as your business history with that and just being innovative on that, there was Gulf got involved with was it like a bidding war or something that
Yeah, gas war. Yeah, all the service stations, different companies got to compete with one another and kept going lower and lower. And
you reached out to Gulf and it was, hey, these guys are killing me or something, and then they agreed to just knock the bottom out of it.
Yeah.
so you won the war.
Yeah,
What did it get down to?
13 cents.
Holy cow! Could you imagine buying gas right now for 13 cents a gallon?
I'd fill every tank I could find.
Over with
If it
Ziploc
held-
bags.
If it held liquid, I'd be putting it
Right,
in.
that's a fact.
That's what broke the war up. That's what people was doing.
So how far did you undercut them to get to finish it? I mean,
13
think-
cents was it.
but where were they at?
From hearing him tell the story, it got down at the time to around 19 cents everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
And
He just
he worked on his people at Gulf until they finally just said, we're going to bust this up right now.
We're gonna finish this.
We're going to
problem.
bust it up right now. So they dropped it down to 13 cents.
Holy cow!
And then the rest of the service station said, whoa, now.
Yeah,
Whoa,
right,
let's,
right,
we're-
yeah,
we're
right,
done.
let's work together here a
Right,
little
we're
bit,
done.
you know.
Yeah. They had a meeting of the mind right away.
Yeah.
Right.
That is too funny.
But that wasn't the only reason. I mean, yeah, he's incredibly strong in arithmetic, math, and
Right.
You know, I wish I'd have got that from him. The only thing I got was the gray hair. But there was other reasons that you were souping up cars. Wasn't there something else that you got involved with that you needed a fast car?
Had to have a fast one.
Why'd you have to have a fast car, Mr. Freddie Wayne?
Outrun the revenuers.
No. Oh, we about to get off in it now, folks. All right. So,
Y'all about to see a window of how racing got started.
all right. So take me through it. Tell me how you got involved in the moonshining.
My wife was from Leonia, Florida, suburbs of Defuniak Springs.
Yes, sir.
And I met a guy down there that was making shine, and I went to buying it from him every weekend and haul it back to Century and selling it to the black folks there in Century.
Right.
But
You got tired of you just started making it yourself after that?
Yeah. After so long, I said, ain't no need driving down there to get it when I can make it. So we started manufacturing it there in the barn behind the house. Got by with that. Lucky there was busted with that. I got hot on me a time or two after my daddy turned me in.
Oh,
No,
man.
what was your daddy doing? What was his occupation at the time?
He was a preacher. Yeah, he was preaching. He sat in my living room and he said, when I leave here, I'm going to turn you in.
Well, at least he gave you a head start.
To the law.
Right.
And I lived half a mile off the road when I said, I better go get my steel and move it.
Right.
So I was going to go to the woods, and I come out from the house, and he was sitting across the road from our intersection under a big oak tree with the law. I said, I'm going back to the house.
Go back to the house.
Yeah, I turned around and went back to the house.
Now, did you ever go back and get that steel?
Never.
You never went back and got it.
Never.
So it's still there.
I'm sure the hunters just tore it up and moved it.
Did you ever have to run from the law?
Oh, yeah.
Did you? Tell me about that. Tell me what dust-ups you had with the revenuers.
Well, I was hauling out of Defuniak Springs, and was coming out, and the wife was over 100 miles an hour driving that Pontiac, and I said, what in the world are you doing?
Why was that? Why was she driving?
Because I'd got too deep in the moonshine myself.
From the night before?
All that night.
Yeah.
This was around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when we was headed home, but I crawled over the front. I was in the back seat asleep, and I crawled over the front seat, and we swapped drivers running about 110 miles an hour.
Holy cow.
But I had to go.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get caught. So we come to Century. We left them. I don't know where they went. they give up.
They wasn't going to catch that 64 Chevrolet, were they?
No, 64
Pontiac. It was a Pontiac.
Pontiac
So
Catalina.
you were asleep in the car and woke up, and she was doing 100. I mean, she was already running from them at that point when you woke up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was crawling over the front seat to get in the car and get her to slide behind me. And I was driving with one hand trying to let her get by.
So you could get going.
Yeah.
He told me that story before. He woke up, looked over the seat, and she was pegged out. And he said, what in the hell are you in such a damn hurry for? She said, look behind us.
That's too funny.
There the revenuers were.
That's funny.
Yeah, they was coming. They was gaining on her, but I had to get over there and put some distance between us.
Right.
You had some pretty good moonshine too, didn't you? You had some. It was highly touted in this area for a while.
Oh yeah,
you done something with your recipe
that
was different from everybody else.
I cut up delicious apples in it. Let it age with them apples in it.
Right.
I couldn't make enough of it. Everybody wanted it.
But what he done with the apples, sort of get into that a little bit, it pulls. He done it after the fact. So it pulls a lot of the sours, a lot of the sulfurs and heavy stuff out of it. So he had a really, really clean product because of it. And that was, I mean, that's pretty innovative. And that's something that a little later on down the road, a couple generations later, that's one of the things that I've done.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So a little bit of a testament to that. And it was very innovative for even that time.
So that was, I mean, moonshine. I mean, that's how NASCAR got started, was moonshine.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that's like pioneer stuff right there. So what did you do to soup up your cars? What kind of modifications would you make?
Mostly head work.
Head work. Now, was that, you said that was a Pontiac that you were running. Was that the family car or was that your moonshine car?
It was a family car.
Was it? What was your moonshine car that you were running shine in back then?
A family car.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about Pontiacs. They got big trunks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
You put a lot of stuff back there, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
It was a family car and the work car.
Yeah.
I got you.
Incognito.
Yeah.
It was the fast car.
Right.
That's right.
That is
And I
too
think
funny.
even at one point he had one that had pulled the back floor mat up and there was a hole. Move a piece of metal and there was a hole. You reach through the back seat and grab it. If revenuers are after you, somebody in the back seat just pouring it out when you're going down the road. So if you ever do get hemmed up,
Yeah, you can't.
all you got is a bunch of empty jars.
Right. That's it. I don't. Oh, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't got no shine. That's too funny.
I think we know where some of them potholes on them roads come from.
Yeah. That's too good. That's
Was that
good
the only?
stuff.
There was a couple other run-ins with the law. You took them around. Took them around before. Over Berrydale or Mystic Springs. Just took them on a little detour.
Yeah. Around the Funac Spring there where they was really bad about getting after me. Go out in the country around Leone and load up, come back, and they was always watching for me.
Right.
I had just about every weekend I had to deal with them, lose them.
Well, man, that'll make you a good driver real quick.
So you went to pick this up knowing they were going to probably see you and you were going to have to lose them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, what cars were they chasing you with?
I forget what they was driving back then, but I had my old faithful Pontiac Catalina. It had the 389 in it, and it had a little work done to it, so I wasn't worried about them catching it.
Right.
Now, this trophy right here in front of you, what is that one?
This says Pensacola Dragway. What kind of drag racing did you do, Mr. Freddie Wayne?
I run different people's cars. I was a driver for different people and go down. I had one friend daughter had a Mustang 389 4-barrel and 4-speed, and he was all the time wanting me to drive her car. We'd go to the drag strip, and I'd run her Mustang at the Pensacola Dragway.
Is that the one that was right there on Mobile Highway in Klondike? Wasn't? They say that the two
It's still there.
Yeah, the actual drag strips is still there.
The
Yeah.
Butlers did own that property it was on.
Really?
I don't know if they still do, but I know they owned it.
Well,
Wow.
Didn't that Catalina also? Didn't you run that Catalina down there too?
I probably did, but I don't remember.
Old family car called hell.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Sounds like it.
But I didn't. I learned that today. I didn't realize. I didn't know that he done some drag racing too. But that was pretty cool to find out.
Yeah.
So you run from the law, and you got all your moonshine behind you. But
Your dad done turned you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did y'all after you quit moonshining when he turned you in? Did y'all make up and were y'all okay? Or?
Oh, we never did have no problem about it, but he meant business, and I knew he meant business.
Right.
So when he left, I don't know how he found the law that quick, but come out to a church house and across the street, my aunt lived over there under a big oak tree, and he was huddled up with the law when I come out. I just turned around and went back to the house. My intention was going down to Salters Lake where my steel was set up in the woods and recover my stuff, move it, and hide it somewhere else.
Right.
But I didn't never make it, and I ain't been back there. Well, I did go back one time to see that it was all gone.
Yeah.
But somebody, hunters, had found it, and
It might be making moonshine still.
might be. But they had moved all the stuff out. All my drums and cookers and everything was gone.
Oh, dang.
Mm.
Is that the only steel you ever had?
No. I had to move 2 or 3 different times. But just found another quieter place and set up and keep going.
Retirement. Have you ever thought about what that word means? Have you ever thought about how it will change your life? Have you thought about negotiating getting on Medicare or Medicaid? Have you thought about what company you may want to go with? I'm sure you have lots of questions just like I would. If you have questions, you need to call Kenny Thorpe at 5 Star Medicare. They make Medicare easy. They deal with Aetna, Cigna, Devoted Health Plans, Humana, and United Healthcare. Kenny can answer all of your questions, even about supplements on Medicare. Please give him a call at 850-525-2424. Again, that's 850-525-2424. So I have to ask a question because I'm sure it would be worth a lot of money today. Is there an old jar of that moonshine still floating around somewhere?
Not to my knowledge.
That would be some expensive stuff today. I
Oh,
bet you
yeah.
that would be some good stuff.
So when you got done, so you're out of moonshine and racing sort of started to pick up locally around about that time. They built a new track right up the road there in Flomaton. Tell us about the building of that track, what kind of attention it brought, sort of the layout of it. And go from there with Flomaton. It was built in 1961.
We was at Flomaton. They opened up that Pollard track. The one he's talking about, Pollard.
No, I'm talking about when they built Flomaton Speedway in 1961.
Yeah, the original track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running what we called jalopies at that time. 34 Ford coupe, 40 coupe, whatever I could get my hands on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doing good. Won a lot of races.
Yeah, I seen a picture in the photo album. Your first race win was in 1962. Was that at Flomaton?
Yeah.
Was it?
What was the layout of the track like? The banking, it was pretty flat back then.
Yeah, well, I put banking in it after I bought it. Put some good heavy banking in it. Made a
Back in
Super Bowl out of it.
Yeah, back in 62 though, or 61, what was the track like? Guardrail around it? Y'all didn't have anything around it? It was just old drill stem pipe.
Drill stem pipe.
Drill stem pipe wall. One rail of pipe.
One rail of pipe.
All around. Have any grandstands? What were they built out of? Just angle iron or?
Angle iron with 2/8.
Did you help build the track?
Oh yeah.
Did you? Tell me about that. What all did y'all have to do up there?
We hauled in several hundred loads of clay
Mm-hmm.
and formed it, made it what we wanted it to be. And had a good grader operator. Micah finally took over the grading. He was going to, I couldn't find my grader man. He was bad to drink, and I couldn't find him one day. And Micah said, I can grade it. I said, what do you mean you can grade it? He said, well, I've been watching Charlie grade it for years, so I can do it.
Well, this you're talking about when you first took it over. We're talking about when the track was actually built, very first year back in the 60s.
Yeah, Bob Burke had been.
Bob Burke was the original owner of the track of the property?
No, a little bit short. And I can't think.
But when they built it, that was pretty big news, and there was guys coming from all over the country. Didn't you tell me there was several of them that come from California to race at Flompton Speedway for its opening night?
Yeah.
Or opening day.
Wow. Really?
Opening day.
It went wide with news that it was opening up, and Bob Beck, and he had that sponsored him with money, and he was well known, and the word got out that it was opening up. We had cars from everywhere. I remember one from California was there.
Do you know how long that you would have to drive pulling a car in the 60s?
In the 60s.
No interstates.
Yeah, there ain't no such thing.
No.
Route 66, I think, was the only thing that went out that way.
That was closest to an interstate as you got.
Yeah.
I know my grandfather told me about Highway 90 and how narrow it was back then.
That was like a horse and buggy trail.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So you run that for, that was in 61. Your first win was in 62. But your 62 win, it was not, we got a picture of that somewhere. That was not in that Model A, but you took that Model A for a ride. You had a pretty nasty wreck in that Model A over at Flompton. Tell us about that.
That's when I went out through the pipe yard. 3 and 4 corner. That's straight off. You come off of 4. If you didn't make it, you went right straight through the field into the pipe yard. It was a big pipe yard over doing this construction pipe stuff. And if you went off the corner, you wound up in the pipe yard. I remember we'd have to go around and call somebody to come and open the front gate where we could get the cars back out the gate and get them back on the track.
Oh, man.
Everybody in the pipe yard never parked the vehicles up close to the track. They always kept them over there, but they had the old drill stem pipe laid over there. And
Did you get hurt?
Oh, no.
No, you didn't get hurt?
Not on that one.
Not that one.
So then, so you get through the 60s, and you racked up a pretty good bunch of wins. But that first one, do you remember that car?
That first win, it was July the 28th of 1962.
That's a 40 Ford coupe.
Yep. And for the listener, we'll make sure we put a picture of this up on the video of this podcast. Man, there's a lot of history here, Mr. Freddie Wayne.
Yeah, a lot of it I want to forget.
There's a lot of I love this, man. Just going through picture albums and talking about, because man, these pictures they'll just spark all kinds of memories.
I got to say one thing about Rex Brook. I saw a picture of him there a while ago.
That one right there?
Yeah, that was Rex Brooks. He's the best I ever drove for. He didn't ask me nothing about what I wanted in the car.
Right.
He'd stand in the pits and see it run, and when I come in, he knew what to do to the car.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did you drive for Rex?
Probably 5 years.
5 years. Boyd's Cooling. That is a really that's an asphalt late model back then, right?
Yeah.
So not to jump ahead, but when you were racing asphalt late models, did you ever run the Snowball Derby?
First year.
So you were actually in the first Snowball Derby. Oh man, that's awesome.
Unfortunately, when the the concession stand or the tower, the office caught fire back in 70s or 80s. You look at you go to the Derby now, and they got the programs that show all the finishing order.
Yeah.
The records burn up showing that he was in there, but there's a picture. Can you pull up the picture of the first Snowball Derby of the lineup? I can point his car out. But there's no record of him because of the either concession stand or tower caught fire, and they lost all those records. So if you look on the program at the first one, they only have like 13 guys in there.
Oh, wow.
Because they lost the record.
See, I didn't know that. That's okay. So wait, that picture of the first one is hanging in the office at Five Flags. Yeah, that's matter of fact, we were talking with Donnie Bruce about he built the frame to go around it.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep. That's him right there. White car. White car on the outside.
Yeah. Can't tell the details out, but I mean, Micah pointed right to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started 31st, I think.
How'd you end up?
I don't really remember.
Don't remember?
I think you end up,
I think I run hot or something. Come out.
yeah, I remember you telling me at one time he got about 250 laps in.
Oh, wow.
And had a little bit of front end damage, collapsed the grill, ended up running hot and parking it.
Was that the only Derby you ever raced? Or did you come back a couple years later and run some more?
I don't think I ever run no more after that one.
So, here on my list, I've got when you were racing Five Flags, you were in some pretty bad wrecks, weren't you?
Yeah, broke both legs at one lick.
Holy cow. Tell me about that. How did that happen?
I was coming down the front straightaway and went in one. I forget now who it was, spun out in front of me and went in the infield and come back out in front of me.
Oh, wow.
And I collected him, drove the battery, sitting in the firewall, had a box cut in the firewall, and
yes, sir.
stick it up in that box, and you could seal it off. So it's pretty well protected from the inside, but it drove that battery back in the cockpit with me.
Oh, wow.
Battery acid all over my legs, but got stopped. And I got it stopped. It was on fire. My feet was getting hot. I sailed out the window. This day, I don't know how I had 2 broke legs, but I run about 50 yards.
Oh, man.
And I finally fell down. I didn't realize what was wrong, but my legs had give way on me. And then I couldn't get up after I'd fell. It had done caught up with me, and both legs were broke. So,
oh, man.
Seen my crew coming, and I was grabbing hold of the grass and pulling myself up, get up on my knees, and get to where I could sit up, something like that. But they got to me, and next thing I knew, I'd passed out. I went on the way to the hospital when I woke up next time.
Oh, man.
We were packed up going to Daytona. It's the 4th of July weekend. We was going to Daytona for the races. And had the kids already packed up, the car packed up, and we was going to leave right after the races going to Daytona, but we missed Daytona that year.
I bet you did.
Well, didn't you have another one where didn't you break your back? Had a back injury over on the back stretch?
Went off the back, and car turned around and went backwards and landed.
Oh, on the back of the car.
On the back bumper. And it messed my back up for a while. I finally overed it, but I was slow getting over that. Like I say, I had some good times and I had some bad times. A lot of them I want to forget about.
Right.
What about the one you went over Pine Forest Road?
Yeah, I went off end of one, and lucky there wasn't no cars parked in that area at that time.
Right.
I'd have cleared them out, but I went right down the side pit road and wound up across Pine Forest Road.
Holy cats. That is
I've heard of people doing it.
What car was that?
I done forgot who I was even driving for at that time. Probably a Resmondo car.
Okay. All right. So that was those cars that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Well, you had some bad times. You had a pretty doggone good year. That plaque right here.
Yeah, that was in my own car.
Oh yeah, that was
Now, that was you were driving for Bobby.
Was it?
Read some of them stats off.
41 starts, 41 finishes, 38 finishes in the top 5.
Daggone. That's strong. That's strong as acid
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was pretty competitive
Right.
back in them days.
41 starts, 41 finishes. That's no failures,
No.
no parts
Yeah,
problems, no. That's impressive.
Yeah, that is that's strong as acid right there.
Oh, Bobby take care of his cars. He built a good car and he'd work on them. So we didn't have many failures with his equipment. He was a good car owner.
What kind of car was you driving for him?
Chevelle, I think.
Picture of it right there.
Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty race car too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a
I
pretty
like
car.
that two-tone blue and white.
Yeah, that is a pretty race car.
We actually built a replica of that car for my older brother.
Okay.
Awesome.
Those
And
things were boats back then too, boy.
Yeah.
So when you moved up, you got your first win in '62, and then you drove several other cars at Flemington as it went through, and you guys raced during the daytime for a long time.
Yeah. Sunday afternoon.
On Sunday afternoon. And when do you think you run your first night race there? It was over into the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you were pretty instrumental in doing the night race. Was there why did they go to night racing? Just track conditions, or
It was just a fad. Everybody wanted to
racing?
Have something to do.
night racing.
Been cotton picking hot in South Alabama.
yeah.
Now, the lights that you put, or the lights that were there, you put those up.
Yeah, we set the light poles, dig a hole and taper the hole and get a log chain and pull it up and over in the hole and then pack it down. But then I climbed the light poles myself and tied myself off, nailed up number 3 wash tubs, put the lights in.
Galvanized wash tubs.
Yeah.
No,
that
doubt.
was the housing for the lights, was a
Yeah.
wash tub. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And just an incandescent bulb in it.
Just the biggest, most highest light bulb we could find.
That's awesome. That is too good. The
That's making it happen right there.
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely making it happen. So when you went from the jalopies and then you were pretty much in late models for the rest of your career, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did there's some pictures here. You were pretty innovative and I think this was probably in the 70s. But there's a picture here of a late model with a wing on it. Tell me about that.
Yeah. As I was telling you a while ago, I got a little gully behind my house. So that's where I put all my collection stuff in.
Right.
And that wing is still in that gully behind the house. And you mentioned a while ago, I'm going to dig it out and hang it up in my shop.
I would.
When I get back.
Yeah, I would. I dang sure would.
What made you put a wing on the car? What was the thought process, or what were you doing there?
I'd seen pictures of them in design and wanted for the weight transfer.
But what you saw was on sprint cars.
Yeah.
So the wing itself, it was just a template off of a aircraft wing, right?
Well, I went to that, but I made my first one. It was flat, didn't have no aerodynamics to it.
And that's in that older. That was in that older car. I think it's in the photo album.
Yep.
That was old Chevelle, right? That you had that one. Yeah.
And we'll put this picture up too. Yeah, that's
Damn, that's awesome.
And that's in 83.
That's what it says on the back of the picture.
Yeah.
Yep, 1983. And that's at Flomaton too, ain't it? Was it? So just for our listener, this is like a Chevelle car, late model, and it literally has it looks like a sprint car wing on top of it.
You know, it's funny you talk about them wings because Micah just said something about, you know, the airplane aerodynamics. Yeah. When I was at school, they taught us that's how they first figured out downforce, because the shape of an airplane wing creates lift.
Yes.
And they figured out if they flip it over, it'll create downforce.
Right, yeah.
And that's where that stuff comes from.
Well, so there's another picture here. It looks like of the same car, but it's a whale tail.
Yeah.
So were you one of the pioneers of the whale tail?
Yeah, I think that was the first one that showed up. I built that one. And then...
Well, they outlawed the wing.
Yeah.
Y'all run the wings for 2 years. And there was like a good car count of those at one time. Somewhere I seen a picture. There was 22 of them in this picture of the winged late models. I think they may even called them modifieds back then. But it took off. Wow. It took off. And then they run that for 2 years, and they outlawed the wing because a lot of the guys couldn't, the way they were mounting their wing, some of them would run down tubes all the way to the rear end, and it would just put so much downforce on the rear end, front end's coming up off the ground.
Oh, wow, like pulling a wheelie.
Yeah, but I think the way they done it had a really good center of downforce on the wing, and the side load was just in the right spot. So a lot of guys just really couldn't get that down. So they outlawed the wing. And so you just basically like look at the picture of the car with the wing. Yeah. You take the wing off of it. There's no downforce on it other than what little bit that nose did.
Right.
So they got in the shop, and he built the first whale tail.
Man.
And that was just to try to get the downforce back on the rear of the car.
Yeah, I mean,
can't have no wing. You didn't say anything about the deck height.
Yeah. That's where deck height rules come from, right there.
Yeah. That's exactly right. What were those things like to drive?
Fun.
Were they? There wasn't no such thing as power steering or anything like that back then. So you were manhandling it.
Yeah.
So how much of a difference did the wing make? Like when you put it on it, could you tell?
Oh yeah. It'd go through the corner as fast as it go down the straightaway.
Right.
Could you almost flat foot it?
Oh yeah, you could.
It would just hold it down. That's awesome.
That is cool. There's about that same era right there. I think Randy Sweet built a car kind of like that had the big billboard side on it and everything, and was going around breaking track records. That is cool. So, and I guess we've kind of come up through the 80s here, but were you still going back and forth on, because obviously this is a dirt car, but were you still driving back and forth on asphalt and dirt at the time, or had you switched back to dirt?
I was running back and forth, whatever I got a ride in.
Right.
Now, around that time, Freddie Jr., his son, my dad was started racing some then too, and he drove the late model, or the modified, but he was still going back and forth. He run for Resmondo, so he would run asphalt on Friday night.
Okay.
And then he would put the car owner hat on Saturday night.
I got you. Okay.
And then they would still go down sometimes to the old track over there in old Loxley track.
Oh, LA Speedway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go over there, run on Sunday. But yeah, he was throwing hats back and forth. And I think my older brother was born. He was born in 83. So they coined him, the track announcers coined him the racing grandpa. And it was shortly, I think that was the year that he won, or done the 41 starts, 41 finishes, 38 top fives, and won championships, multiple tracks. They coined him the racing grandpa at the time.
Man, that is too cool.
And that's something that sort of stuck with him. Oh. And then it gets over into the 90s, and I think racing sort of went into a little bit of a lull locally. And particularly at Flomaton, there were some ownership issues, and it switched hands, and he didn't race as much in the 90s. in the late 80s and 90s, my dad went into the Air Force and got stationed out in New Mexico, and but you were still driving. You were still driving for Resmondo, some, not as much as what you were. What else did you do around that period?
Hey, Josh, I need some parts for the modified.
Well, you need to give Lake Brooks at Z Speed Shop a call. He is a new mobile speed shop and would be more than glad to help you with all of your race car part needs.
Yeah, Lake brought over his trailer of parts for us to look at, and I mean, he's got everything that you could think of, and whatever he can't get, he can order.
Yeah, the parts, it was literally like walking into a catalog. From A to Z, he's got it. He is also a fuel distributor for VP Fuels. Being a mobile unit in the Pensacola area, I know since USA Performance closed, there's not a whole lot of places to buy racing fuel. So please give Lake a call at 704-924-0750. Again, that is 704-924-0750, and he'll be more than glad to help you out. He can even bring the parts to you on location for a very small nominal fee. If it was after hours or anything like that, he'll be more than glad to accommodate you.
Lake is conveniently located in Pensacola.
Just raced every chance I got with somebody. People all over the country was wanting me to drive the car.
How many car owners do you think you've driven for?
Probably 10 or 12 different owners.
And that was on a regular basis, but as far as you just somebody getting you and throwing you in a car, you're probably upwards of 50 different people that would let you drive their car.
Yeah, I even Five Flags people I never did even know come up and ask me to go and drive their car. I'd go get in a car I ain't never been in before, hit the track with it. And some way or another, I could adjust to the car.
Yeah. Now, you were pretty innovative, from the moonshine to doing all your head work on them old cars with the wing late model or modified, whatever they called them at the time. And you had sort of taken over a little bit more of a leadership role with how respected you are. And we got this right here. Pulled this off your wall at your office. What is this? Honor and appreciation for dedication to the SEDTRA.
Southeast Dirt Track Racing Association.
Is that a sanctioning body that you started?
No, just
more or less a union.
Yeah.
Why did that come about? Because some of the tracks were not. Y'all wanted to sort of dictate the rules a little bit, try to get the tracks on the same pace, right?
Same rules.
Yeah. So you started the SEDTRA, Southeastern Dirt Track Racing Association, and was that a positive thing for racing in the area? Did you accomplish the goals that you wanted with that?
It was a good move that we kind of organized all the tracks and the rules.
And started a pretty good points fund.
Yeah.
Basically, an early sanctioning body or attempt at a sanctioning body.
Yeah.
To try to get everybody on the same page. Man, you still use that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you were working at the paper mill during this time.
Yeah.
What were you doing there?
I was shift supervisor. I had a maintenance. I had about 40-something people working for me in the maintenance group. I was over the pipe fitters, carpenters, insulators, painters. I had several crews going.
Was that the paper mill in Cantonment, or was that the one in Bruton? Bruton
Container Corporation in Bruton.
And you done some work out there to How about the rescue team? That's something that was your brainchild.
Yeah, I formed the rescue team in there.
Why did you do that?
I realized it was something needed that we didn't have, and we all the time going in vessels that was open, and they didn't have no rules or regulations to go by, and I pretty well set all that up. Had to have a hole watch all the time, sitting there, man watching in the holes in case something other happened, they could see it.
That's huge.
But before that, they didn't have it. They just went in there blind and hoped everything worked out all right. But I got that all that under control, and I was supervisor at that time, so pretty well controlled that. Got that going the way it ought to have been going. But feel like we've done a lot of good with it. They got rules and regulations on that closed, confined space entry stuff now that they didn't have back then that I pretty well set in place.
That's awesome thinking ahead.
Yeah.
That to take place.
That probably saved a lot of lives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
You spent how many years you spent out at the mill?
33.
Wow.
Was it always GP, or was it something different back then?
We changed hands 2 or 3 different times, but Mobile Oil owned us at one time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, your racing sort of stalled out a little bit in the early 90s, like I said, with the track ownership issues that Flompton had, and it shut down for, I think it was about 9 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that Flompton closed for that long.
Mm-hmm. And then in the 80s, that's when you got Freddie Jr. to racing. But now he started in go-karts way back in the day over in Saltley Field or something like that. So talk about him getting started in it and sort of the second generation.
It was always in his blood. He wanted to do it. And so we started off go-kart racing.
Mm-hmm.
Moved on from that until he got into my modifieds and was running my modifieds. Big cars on dirt. Turned out to be a good wheel, man. So I just turned it all over to him. And
he run sprint cars too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like that's how y'all. I know that Micah's run mini sprints and some other stuff, but I mean y'all got real big into the sprint car scene there for a while.
Yeah, I still got a barn full of them.
Do you? The matter of fact, Mr. Crenshaw was building some of y'all's sprint car motors, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. It always depends on his motors.
Yeah.
What other motor builders did you use? I mean, I know Buddy was your go-to.
Yeah.
You had a really good relationship with him. How many motors would you say Buddy's built for you over the years? 100 or so?
At least over the years.
A lot
Had
of
another motor builder up above Atmore. Up 21, about 10 miles out of Atmore on the left.
I don't remember. I can't recall. You put me on the spot.
I can't remember his name now. He was a good motor builder. Furnished my motors for a long time. Well, he done all the work free. See, furnished. I paid for the parts, and he built the motors.
Yeah. And you always built your own chassis.
Yeah.
Oh, so all of these cars, other than the stuff that you were driving for other people, but all these cars that you drove, you built them as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
All stick welded or do some TIG? Or MIG weld? How'd you put those together?
Started off with stick, and then we wound up MIG welding all of them after so long with time.
Now, were these some of these late models and stuff? And like I said, for the listener, we'll put a bunch of these pictures up. Were they? There wasn't no such thing as race car tubing back then. Were you all using black iron pipe?
Yeah.
Were you? That whale tail, man. That is a cool ass car.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to drive something like that. I think that would be so much fun.
I'd have loved to have been in that era driving and get
Yeah.
to do all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the eras, talk about how are things different now compared to what they were back then in the pit area, and the way you interacted with everybody, and how's it so different now from what it was back then?
It's just amazing how life has changed, period. Back in them days, you'd have a knockdown drag out with somebody Sunday afternoon, but next Sunday afternoon, I remember laying under my car one day changing a clutch out, and the fella that last weekend, me and him had fought a bloody fight.
Right.
But he was under the car taking the drive shaft out while I was doing something other else. I said, "You gonna help me?" He said, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna help you." He said, "That was last week."
That's awesome.
What kids wasn't in the pits? Were women in the pits?
No,
They
no
wasn't
women.
allowed, were they?
No women at that time.
Yeah. And y'all, what was it like after the races? Cold beer? How late was you hanging out?
I remember at Oakfield one day, I got in late there, and the car owner met me up at the edge of the track with the car, and he got out, and I got in the car and pulled out on the racetrack and got in the race. But that day, they didn't have no money. I'd won just about every race that day, and had a table over there, and they didn't have no money to pay off with. They paid off with beer. So I had half a dozen, probably 2 or 3 cases of beer on the table, and all of us, I just invited them all over to come to the table and sit down and drink it until it was over with.
No doubt. Well, that sounds like you went to a beer drinking contest and a race broke out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Nobody showed up. Something going on. No fans showed up. So we ain't got the money to. Look, we got this amount of money. We can split it up and give y'all a little bit, or we can go down to the county store and buy a bunch of beer.
Well,
that's what they do.
So back then, they paid y'all off of the general admission gate. Like, didn't the winner get like a percentage of the gate?
Percentage of the gate.
And that was a percentage of was it the back gate? Was it the pit area gate that you raced for? Or was it it was the front gate, grandstands, was it?
Yeah.
So what do you think that done as far as the show?
Yeah.
It incentivized.
Yeah. 100%.
It incentivized the drivers to put on a show.
Yeah. Yeah, because the more fans you can get there, the more you get, the more money you make.
That's the trouble with racing these days. The young people don't realize that you are the show.
Right.
You can't go out there and show your butt and pitch a fit.
Right.
You out there to put on a show. Spectators.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And you always packed the track. You always done wheel packing. And that was a responsibility, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's something that did anybody ever have to ask you guys to pack the track? Was it an announcement made, or was that an initiative that you just took?
The announcement was made. If you don't pack the track, you're going to start dead last every race.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But did they ever complain about having to pack the track or mud on the car? Or?
Had trouble with them, have to run them back out. They'd go out there and run 2 or 3 laps, and so they'd done their job.
Well, that was when you had the track, but back in your day when you was racing back in the 60s and 70s, you never had that issue.
No, everybody's willing to work on the track, get it ready to race.
And everybody, as far as anytime any work needed to be done at the track, for instance, you climbing light poles, that was never an issue, was it?
No.
Everybody helped. Everybody
bought into it.
Yeah, had to do what you got to do.
That's something that's different. No, but women weren't allowed in the pits.
Mm.
Now that's something that I'm gonna tell on him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When he took the track over at Flomson, and 2009. He said, I ain't gonna let no women go in the pit. I was like, well, wait a minute, Pop, we can't do that now. We can't.
Times have changed.
It's a little bit different. He said, I don't want them in there. He said, it's just gonna be nothing. I was like, I mean, you're not wrong, but we can't do that.
Was there less fights back then?
No, I think there was probably more fights.
There was more,
but it always started as a woman started to fight. That's the reason I didn't want them in the pits.
But back then, now, in your day, once you fought, it was over.
Yeah.
And did anybody ever try to get in there and break it up, or was it just one-on-one till it was done, or?
We'd attempt to break it up. I've got a bad leg today on account of breaking one up. Bobby Resmondo.
No, this is that you're talking about when you had the track. I'm talking about back when you raced. Back in your day, you just sort of let them go. It was just two men making business decisions and
Making business decisions.
dealing with it, wasn't it?
Having a business meeting.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, things were a lot different, and he tried to bring some of that over. Tried to bring some of that over in 2009. I said, we can't quite do that. But I know we're jumping ahead here a little bit. There's another story. I want to touch on. Wanted to talk about two other things. Actually three. Granny, she was at the drag strip with you one night, and I don't remember what car you had, but she had trouble at the starting line. Or you didn't even know she was going out there.
No.
You was off concession stand or fooling around or something. Tell me about why did she end up into a race?
Somebody was picking at her, and she told them to get in the car and prove it. Let's go see. So she got out on the track, and that Pontiac, she showered down on it, and it raved up and lunged and died. I went out there and opened the hood up and pulled a grease rag out of the carburetor.
Well, you didn't even know she was out there. He was telling me the story. He went to the restroom, concession stand or something. He looked out there and he said, "Look like that car. That car looked just like mine."
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's my car.
Right.
And he said but somebody's run their mouth. They run their mouth to her, and he laid a grease rag over the carburetor.
Right.
And she didn't know it. She just got a bait of it and
Oh man.
jumped out there, and it sucked her grease rag down. But he didn't even know his car was out there on the track.
That's funny.
But she done some powder puff racing too.
Oh, yeah. She'd race anything.
Well, y'all just got racing in your blood then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But there was one, so many people know her. She's got all these rings, right? Tell them about time she took her high heels off and went across the track. Some big old joker she got a hold of.
Me and him was fighting.
Who was it? Do you remember?
The one I was talking about on the way down there. I can't remember his name. Long, tall boy. But he come to my car on the back straightaway.
At Five Flags.
Me and him had got together and spun one another out, and he come up to my car, and I was trying to get out of the car, and he grabbed me around the neck. And he done that. I reached and grabbed hold of him and let him pull me out of the car, and but I could get him out on my grounds. He was a tall fella, and I managed to get my legs around him and trip him and get him down on my level where I could reach him and kind of settle things out a little bit. But it's just some wild things.
But she come running across the track. It was over with.
It was over with.
It was done.
Yeah, she come running over there, and she had pulled her shoes off, was running with her shoes in her hand. And she went to beating that big sucker side the head again, and was back on again.
I say he was cut up.
Oh man.
She put them rings on him, and whoo.
That's too funny.
She said it wasn't over.
Yeah.
That is too funny. So out of all the years that you raced, Mr. Freddie Wayne, who would you say your biggest rival was?
That boy I'm talking about, I can't call his name. I don't remember his name, but he was a great competitor and hard to beat. So it was usually me and him, one of the two. We was talking about coming down here. That day we fought like cats and dogs.
Yes, sir.
And the next week I was broke down. I was under my car working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he crawled under my car and went to taking the trash.
Oh, so that was the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, "You gonna help me?" He said, "Hell yeah, that was last Sunday." Said, "It's over with."
Right.
So he was under the car helping me get my car back in shape to race again.
I'll be dang.
But you don't see that this day and time.
No.
You got a squabble. It's a squabble, and it
most of the time it
lasts forever.
Yeah, most of the time it ends up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Freddie, who was your hero?
I don't really remember that. Of the racing days at the track, or
who was your racing hero? Who'd you like to watch?
Ironhead Fred Moore.
Ironhead Fred Moore.
You ever heard of him?
I haven't.
He was from the old school. He was a tough old man. Fight you in a heartbeat.
So were y'all racing back then, or just fighting and racing was a hobby?
Yeah, racing was just part of it.
Yeah. Go to fights and race breakout.
Yeah.
Who were some of the more famous drivers that you end up racing against? I know you raced a good bit against Alabama gang.
Bobby and Donnie and Neil Bonnet.
Yankee Bill Riggs.
Red Farmer.
Oh, yeah. Red Farmer was big back then.
Now, were they coming down here and racing with you, or were you traveling to race with them?
They come to our track at Flumpton. I didn't own the track at that time, but they'd come down there and race with us at Flumpton, and I'd get to race with them.
They race over at Five Flags. They come down there and race a good bit. You still got a spring out from under Bobby Allison's car in the little shop.
Yeah.
How'd you get that spring?
We lived out on the highway. He'd been to Five Flags racing 42 miles north of Five Flags where we lived. And he hit a little branch, a little bridge, and bounced the car, and the car sprang
on the trailer.
And the trailer fell off. And I went and got the coil spring. I saw it come off. But he was on the way back to Montgomery. He'd been racing at Five Flags.
Yeah, the car hit that dip. The car jumped up on the trailer, and the spring come out of it. He went back and picked it up. He still got Bobby Allison's spring sitting at the shop.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
So, I would have loved to
have
called Bobby before,
Yeah.
Before he passed, and just asked him, "Did you ever lose a spring coming out of Pensacola?" We'll sell it to you.
Yeah, I'll sell it back to you.
I wish I met him at school when I was up there in North Carolina. They had him come to the school and do a signing and all kind of stuff. And
yeah.
I got to meet him, and I wish I'd have known that. I'd have asked him.
Yeah. So you raced against Red, the Yankee Bill Riggs. Who were some of the others? Sort of Alabama gang.
Say Bobby and Donnie, I raced with them. And
was you ever successful against them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could blind hog pick up an acre every now and then. So I could walk.
So, thinking back on it, with your history, the moonshining, the rum running, the hot rodding, you were really one of the sort of pioneers or would have been one of the pioneers of sort of NASCAR, because you were that guy, right? Had you lived in Carolinas, would that have been something that you would have pursued?
I just missed my day. I've just come along at the wrong time. I could have made it big in NASCAR if I'd have just been at the right place at the right time.
Right.
Well, you were in the right time. You're just in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm running moonshine and running from the cops, souping up cars to get away from the revenuers.
Yeah.
Are you looking to transform your property? Do you need a pool removed, land cleared, or expert grading for your next big project? Look no further than More Site Solutions. One thing that makes More Site Solutions different than other companies, when you call, you're not just getting a business, you're getting Jake. That's right, the owner. Jake personally answers your phone call, shows up for every estimate, and never leaves you hanging. No ghosting, no excuses, just honest, reliable service from start to finish. And if you're the DIY type, they have you covered too. More Site Solutions can supply the materials you need to get the job done right. So whether it's a big project or a small one, More Site Solutions is ready to make it happen. Give Jake a call today at 850-332-2827, and let's get to work.
Now, you started passing things sort of down the line, but you've been very, very helpful to the racing community, not just from owning a racetrack for 10 years. You got into the parts and tire business for a while, and you've sponsored a bunch of cars, and it was in the 90s when you started the McCall's Racing Fuel and doing that. And what tracks how did you service that?
It was a nightmare. It got too big. It was great. I made money at it, but it got too demanding. Everybody at every track wanted my truck there with the parts and fuel and what have you, but just couldn't be everywhere at the same time. So I had to pick and choose where I was going.
And you've helped a lot of people too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it pisses me off. I've seen you being taken advantage of several times, but in the 90s it didn't seem as prevalent. But you would guy come up and need a part or need something or need some tires and fuel, you actually had a little credit system going on. You'd let them put it on the account.
Yeah, load them up, fix them up, put them back racing.
Yeah. And sometimes you'd have to wait on your money a good little bit for some of the guys, but you never
lost.
And you never batted an eye at it. And that just, as I got a little older, it just, I couldn't believe what he was doing to help some of these guys out. And, even some of the track owners come before his time. You've made lease payments and you've done all kind of stuff for helping racing.
Just promote racing. Didn't want it to die.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish people still had attitudes like that nowadays.
What, you done that. You went, you started, got Freddie Jr. involved, and then it was probably in the late 90s when third generation come along. And I think you started with the old 75 Nova with Bo.
Mm-hmm.
How old was he?
14, 15 when I started him off.
Was that in the novice class back then?
Yeah.
Was it?
No. Actually, I think it was technically still called Hobby at the time.
Oh, was it?
But he had a Leaf Spring Nova you built for him, which actually I believe was of what we talked about earlier with the 19, 20, 21, and 22.
Mm-hmm.
It was the 19 car.
Okay.
So that car
One
sort
of
of
Bobby's
come
old
back.
cars, yeah.
It sort of come back full circle, and that was his first car. Now he run, Bo run for several years, and he was the only one driving. And we got featured in a magazine off of that. I wish I'd have brought a copy of that. But you had national publication of a magazine when he started racing as the third generation, and he run for 4 or 5 years. You built him a second car, but you you were on wasn't it Tile City tires back then? Tile City 8-inch tires.
Recaps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now he quit. He didn't necessarily quit racing. He went off to college. I think he went to the same school you did.
Okay.
UTI. And then you was out of it again for a couple of years, but you were still at the track every night. And then that's when you got me and Seth involved in it. But you were still doing the fuel and tire business, parts and tire business. And that was how you paid for our racing.
Mm-hmm.
So you started Seth off in that front wheel drive car.
Oh yeah, the Stinger class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nightmare that was.
Oh, I bet.
Tell us about Seth. He started in the Stinger division, then you put him in a bomber car.
Yeah. He was a natural born. He was a wheel man first time he crawled under the steering wheel.
Really?
Now, for perspective, that Seth is his daughter's son.
Okay.
So his grandson.
Okay.
Out in Texas now, working in the oil fields out in Texas.
Oh, he's doing the aviation school.
Yeah, A&P school, yeah.
But he pretty much had instant success in that bomber car, didn't he?
Yeah. See, he was natural when he crawled under the steering wheel the first night out. Just gifted to it.
Right.
And a few years later, so he had 2 championships, one in 2007 as a car owner.
Yeah.
In the street stock, and then Seth in the bomber car. And then a few years later, that's when you opened up the racetrack, or we took over the lease on the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2009.
2009.
So not to derail us here, but there's a picture up here of a car, and I think the year was 2009. That same year. You got it right there underneath the plaque. That's the same year that y'all took over the racetrack. Tell me about that, Mr. Freddie Wayne.
Yeah, I still got that car sitting in my shop.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So for the listener, we'll put this up. This is looks like a sportsman car. It's got the Hoosier 790s on it, and it's a black number 3. It's got an orange roll cage in it. Who's driving that, Mr. Freddie Wayne?
I drove it some. You ever drive it?
No, I never drove that one. That's you running the Snowball Derby in 2009. That's your last race.
Was it?
So
That's awesome.
You started in the early 50s and raced over into 2009.
That is.
And he didn't even know he was going to run that night.
Oh, tell me about it. All right, so how did that come about?
Well, that car, actually, we started that car. It was an old dirt car that we converted over to asphalt car for Seth to run.
Mm-hmm.
And he went off to school. He went up to Lima, Ohio, to UNOH. And the car was just sitting idle for a while. And I think he'd come home, and we just took the initiative we got it going. Got it freshened up.
Yeah.
New shock springs, tires in it, and all new rubbers, and got it going. And told him, I think they raced on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I told him Wednesday night, I said, don't make plans for tomorrow. And I told my granny, I said, we need to find us, I need a pair of his pants or shirt or something. We need to sort of look for a suit that'll fit him.
Right.
And we found a suit that would fit him in I think that's an open face helmet, if I ain't mistaken.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, so we found an old open face helmet and hauled the car down there and told him, I need you to be at the track at this time.
Yeah.
And put him in it.
No doubt.
That's right.
How'd you do? Do you remember?
It was like riding a bicycle when I got in it. It was, I was ready.
Were you?
I think I don't remember how many cars. This sort of when that class sort of started tearing off a little bit at the Snowball, but I think he ended up getting a top 10 out of it.
Man, that's awesome.
But yeah, we didn't tell him anything about it. We just done it for him.
That's awesome.
And had we done it in his backyard, I don't know how he didn't know we were doing it.
Right.
But yeah, so in 2009,
Y'all got the racetrack that same year?
That's when he took over the racetrack. So Jimmy Goodwin, his time at the track ended, and a lot of people have opinions. I thought he was great. It was a really good promoter, very innovative. But why do you remember why you took over the track? It was you wanted to. Somebody else was going to get it, and you think they were not the right?
It was a misfit, and I knew it was a misfit. So when I stepped in.
Now, your intention was never really initially when you come to me to ask me to help you on it, and Park, we were racing a pretty good bit, and he come to me and called me at the kitchen, me and Seth at the kitchen table, and said, I took over the lease of the track.
Wow,
and he essentially done it to keep it out of the wrong hands, I guess you would say. But your intention, that was your true intentions initially, was to just keep it out of the wrong hands and then to release it, do a sublease initially.
Somebody else,
And that never materialized. So
I got stuck with it.
But then you pushed all in and talk about the improvements that you done to the track.
I had trucks running back and forth from that good red clay pit, and we completely recovered the track, made it a good raceable track. Went and bought a dozer and bought a road grader and disc and big tractor, and so we'd have our own equipment. I'll have to wait on somebody to come and do something.
Right.
But we worked the track, got the track back in good shape, and the fast track. Real successful. We had good time and made some money with it.
So there's a legend going around about Flomaton Speedway, and I've talked with Pop, Mr. Crenshaw, about it several times, and he may have been one of the ones that was doing this, but the legend is the reason that the dirt is so good up there and the surface is so good is that y'all were, or maybe not y'all, but somebody was adding additives and stuff like that to the dirt, mixing it in, and like going to get crude oil and all kinds of stuff to put in the dirt.
He's getting salt water from them oil wells.
Okay.
Putting salt water on the track instead of fresh water.
And that's what made the dirt so rich up there?
Made it real tacky.
Yeah. That is, all the years that I've been doing this, Flomaton Speedway, the actual surface of that racetrack, that's by far the best surface in this area.
Yeah.
I know the facility there towards the end needed some improvements, but the surface itself was the best surface in this area.
It was. We had a good clay pit, rich, good red clay. I was able to get dirt out of that pit as we needed it. It made a track. And that salt water sealed it off.
No doubt. So did you end up doing away with the guardrail? I remember the first time I raced at Flomaton, I tore almost a whole body off of a car way back in the day on that guardrail. But later on, when y'all had it, it had the block wall around it. Did you do that? Did you take up the guardrail and put the blocks in?
Yeah.
Didn't those blocks come from Southern?
The blocks did.
Yeah.
Blocks did.
Cement blocks.
Yep.
He sent trucks down there and had them going for 2 weeks, bringing those things back and dodging the DOT and everything else, because we used the full box style trucks and just shove them in there. It's 975 pounds per linear foot.
Oh, wow.
So
they're heavy.
We shoving just as many as we could in there.
Yeah.
And
there was some left at Southern, and my excavator wouldn't pick them up.
there were some left, and we got cut off.
Right.
The Arnolds cut us off.
Right.
You don't. So that's why I over-interned. I guess I think over-interned 4 had some, but I know in turn 1 and 2 we had to use the pipe.
Yes.
And we had to get that pipe from the old WPC yard there in Flomaton, up behind where the Tri-City Ledger is over by the park. is where we had to go get that pipe to finish it out.
That was some big old pipe too.
Yeah.
Big pipe.
Mhm.
I stopped by there probably about a year ago and just kind of walked around and the really and truly the surface is still in good shape for as long as it's been sitting there. I mean, that surface you could in
Well,
a
good-
week's time,
Good clay will last.
yeah, in a week's time you could have that racetrack back ready to race.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Oh, I was out there. Me and my son and Adam went over there yesterday.
Is it
Walked
still in
around.
pretty good shape?
The track's not bad. Track's really good. I mean, pine trees everywhere.
Is there?
My God.
Hmm.
You can get a couple loads of pulp out of there now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty grown up. And you know, we had really good success with that track, like he said. And it was his leadership and his honesty and integrity
Mm-hmm.
that made it work.
I loved racing with y'all. I mean, I really did. Half them trophies up there come from Flumpton.
There was never any time that you had to worry about a fair shake.
Yep.
Or your money not being there. What did you do? What did you do as far as the money and the payout was concerned?
I had the money paid out in envelopes Wednesday or Thursday night before we raced Saturday. It was the money
Made sure
was
the money was
always
going to be there. Yeah.
always ready.
Right.
And it never mattered how many fans come in.
Right. Payout was always ready.
And I think people figured that out, and they knew it and they trusted it. And you know, tell them about your approach on the tech shed. As far as getting who you brought in to do your tech and your process on that, you never question.
I had a good tech man that I knew was honest, and I didn't doubt his integrity. When he made a call, that was it. There wasn't no changing it.
Right.
People would get upset with me, but 2 or 3 weeks later, they'd see that we had done the right thing, and they'd come back and apologize about it. But it's always fair to everybody, and I didn't show no partiality. If the shoe fit, wear it.
Right.
If it didn't, just hush and go on.
Right. So for the listener, who was the tech man?
Tim Woods was my main tech man in the latter part of the years.
He was with you. He was with you all 10 years that
Was
you
he?
had it. Yeah, he come in and he was the staple. And
I love Mr. Tim. He was always good to me up there.
That was always the tech shed you had to worry about.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tim. He didn't-
I mainly ran Southern just 'cause I had my own ties there. But I remember if we were going to go to Flemington for a special race or something, we were making sure our I's were dotted and our T's were crossed.
yeah,
like I said, and I've told this story before on the other podcast, but I mean, I only got one thing over on Mr. Tim one time, and I don't think I actually got it over. I think he was just being generous that night. But I loved Mr. Tim, and matter of fact, I think we need to get him on the show. I bet you he's got some fun tech stories to tell. That would be a good one to get on the
he
show.
got a
right
few
there.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he he run the track on principle,
Yeah.
and integrity, and so I sort of leaned on him. The first little bit there. I didn't know much about promotions or whatever, but things were evolving a lot different than what they were in the 90s, in 70s, 80s when he run, and you had to take a little bit different approach. It was just a different type of people that you were dealing with. And about this, at the end of the first year, I think he pretty well just said, take it and run with it.
Yeah.
And he was right there, out there every Friday night and every Saturday. But he also pushed innovation too. And I took sort of his mentality, and we adapted and pushed innovation. And we were the first racetrack in the country to have social media.
Really? I did not know that.
Very first racetrack in the country to have a Facebook page.
I did not know that.
And he always wanted a show first.
Mm-hmm.
Concession stand prices were fair.
Yeah.
Very
Y'all had
fair.
a good hamburger too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Once it was his idea for the bologna burger.
Yeah.
The Bama burger, I think, is what we ended up coining it. But he wanted things done a certain way, a certain quality, real beef, big, thick cut. He wanted to make sure that there was a value there, and the show.
Yeah.
The show had to move quickly and be entertaining. And off of that, we never had a problem getting people in the grandstand.
One of the favorite things that I ever seen at a racetrack was actually at y'all's racetrack. It was that hot dog race that Jerry Venable and I can't think of who the other person. It may have been Craig Crosley, but it was Jerry and somebody else. But you were on the microphone emceeing it, and that was the funniest thing I've ever seen, because they started, I think you put it out there that it was just 2 plain hot dogs with like some mustard or ketchup on it, and then when they got in the car, you swapped them.
Yeah, well, that was something that he brought in, something they used to do back in the day, and it was just an entertainment deal. Well, I never lied to him.
Yeah,
I never lied to him. I wouldn't say that, but I just tell the drivers, all right, here's the deal. You're gonna get in the car. When you're gonna race 2 laps, we're gonna throw the red. You get out, you eat these 2 hot dogs. Got you nice cold Pepsi here, and finish these 2 hot dogs. You jump in the car and buckle up, run 2 more laps, and the first one that gets done is the winner.
Right.
Well, then we let the drivers get in the car, and they out there under parade laps, under caution. Then I let the fans in on it, and just tell them, here's all right. Now that they can't hear us, here's the deal, And we'd show them this hot dog, and it's got jalapeno peppers all over it. It's got onions, mayonnaise, sauerkraut, anything that we can put on that thing. And I'd tell the fans that, we got jalapenos, we got hot sauce, we got mayonnaise, we got onions, we got X-Lax, and it just really sell it.
Yeah.
And then we'd wrap them back up and set them down there, and we'd have the Pepsis frozen.
Oh, yeah.
So that thing is loaded down with jalapenos.
Yeah.
Pepsi's frozen.
And that Pepsi's frozen. I said it was ice cold.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
And these cats, they would go out there and run their 2 laps, and just the competitive nature, they just run up there and they'd rip that thing open, and they'd see that hot dog and go, ugh. But then they'd look at the other guy that was doing it, and that competitive nature fire right back up, and they just make a mess of themselves eating that hot dog. Damn. And they go for that cold drink, and a big old chunk of ice come just plopping out, and it's that little bit of entertainment. It cost $0.
Yeah.
And we always tried to do it with 2 fairly new drivers or some that wasn't really in on it,
Right.
And it was just so entertaining. And it's just the little things that you can do to make that 20-minute break or that 15-minute break entertaining.
Yeah.
No
downtime.
Yeah, no downtime.
Nope.
He had me one night, the front wheel drive class, just boring, stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped me, said, "Turn them around."
Really?
And because they were, had a problem with them, doctoring up the front ends.
Right.
And some of them was running a little bitty old tire on this side. And he said, "They're supposed to be stock. If they'll turn left, they ought to turn right, turn them around."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Yes,
sir. We'll do it. So we turned them around, and
it was hectic.
They were pissed, but the car in the back went to the front.
I bet it did.
The car in the front went straight to the back.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people don't even remember that, but he there were several different things that we done. I can't remember some of them now, but
when I think of y'all in Flomaton, entertaining is the word. I mean, even the drivers meeting. I used to love your drivers meeting. That's one of the things I look forward to, because it wasn't serious.
Yeah.
You went to other tracks, and you felt like you were at a court proceeding.
You got to do this. You got to do that.
And Micah would get the same message across, but it would be funny, and everybody was getting on. It wasn't so serious.
No, you got to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're having fun, you're putting on a good show. And unfortunately, we didn't have the entertainers, the showmen,
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's only a handful of showmen these days.
Right.
And I know somebody's going to say this, but when I was doing driver's meeting, I was serious. So I know I was part of that problem.
Well, you got to come to the track and have a good time. You need to put on a show for the fans.
Right.
You know, we done the Pepsi redraw several times, but then I started doing a little bit of a mix to that. We took T-shirts and drew numbers on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Soaked them in water and froze them. And we'd say go, and the top 6 would have to take their shirt off and put this shirt on. That was just a simple thing, you know.
Right.
But we wouldn't tell them it was frozen. So they'd have to pull this shirt off and then work his frozen shirt on, and just different. And they hated that.
Yeah.
Boy, they hated that. But you're either going to do it or you're going to start in the back.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to do it or you're starting in the back. Just different things. And, it's just those little details of putting on a show and putting on a timely event was something that he preached on.
With Mother Nature doing all these crazy things here lately, especially the winter storms, you may have noticed your curtains blowing in the breeze every time the wind blows. If that is the case, give Window World of Pensacola a call. They specialize in non-impact and impact-rated windows for all residential needs. They are located at 10108 North Palafox Street in Pensacola, or you can give them a call at 850-484-9998. We'll be happy to help you with all of your window needs.
We go back to what Scooter said on his podcast, that you're an entertainment venue first.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah.
We are in the entertainment business.
I always respected y'all's resilience and y'all's the ability to know your dirt, know your racetrack. I'll never forget one night, we were racing modifieds up there, and me and Mr. Crenshaw were sitting in the truck, and it come a natural toad strangler. I mean, a natural born. It rained for 30 minutes harder than I've ever seen it rain ever, and I just knew we were going to get rained out. And you called us all to the drivers' meeting and said, hey, we can either call it or we can race tonight. And we all said, well, let's race. And y'all worked. And I don't think we got out of there till about 1 o'clock that morning. But, I mean, the racetrack was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. Even after raining like that, the racetrack was still good.
The best water you can put on the track.
Right. Yeah.
And so many of these other tracks around here. And the best racetrack you have is after that 3 o'clock rain shower comes through.
I can tell you the best Southern service has ever been is after a 3 o'clock rain storm.
Man, I'm Baker, same way. That track gets wide, hooked up, and typically smooth, after rain. We realized that, and, he brought it to our attention, flooding the track, because we used to just flume out the water truck and just let it go all the way to the bottom. And the bottom of the racetrack is just silted up. And so we, it rained last week. Track was great.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put this water, do something different.
Yeah.
So he ordered, I showed him what pump I wanted to use. And, we started pumping the water on the track and sort of butterflying it out.
Yeah.
Trying to simulate the rain.
Yeah.
And it's something that they done to what made Flompton so special as far as the rain and what it could take.
Mm-hmm.
There was one day we had 7 inches of rain. Mm-hmm. It rained 4 inches that morning, 3 inches that afternoon, and it was the Mississippi Street Stock Series before all that got jacked up. We'll save that for a different episode.
Yeah,
but it rained so much. But something they done way back in the day is they put a 14-inch drain pipe in.
Mm-hmm.
There was no shooting grade at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he told me one time they took a bubblegum wrapper and when it was raining out there and they followed that bubblegum wrapper to the bottom of the track where it was puddling up at.
Oh,
and
man,
they took an excavator and dug.
That's genius.
Dug across the track and put a 14-inch drain pipe in all the way across the track at the lowest point. And it could
We cut
flood.
that track completely in two from the top to the bottom.
Right.
That was one hell of a bump
Right.
for us to ever get worked out.
Right.
We finally, after several years, we got it packed back in to where it didn't bump you when you cross that track.
I'm here to tell you, racing Flompton was, and I know everybody that listens to this podcast misses that racetrack, but I mean, it really if you could race there, you could race just about anywhere, but you could get a rhythm going. And now you could knock a rear end out of a car real quick too, coming down the front straightaway. But if you could figure it out,
backstretch wall too,
right? But if you could get the line figured out and how to really dance with that racetrack, that place was a lot of fun. I mean, just a lot of fun.
You burp it going into one, and then wide open back around to one.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't forget to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike McGee, he was running the late model one night. Had a brand new Warrior late model, gorgeous race car. You know, he had long issues. He was pipeliner a long time. He not with us anymore, but he was leading that race, running the best race I think I ever seen him run. And he hit the wall on the flag stand. At the flag stand, he drove it down. I mean, come by us just wide open, and hit that pipe wall.
Yeah. At
the end, something just wasn't right. But when he hit the wall, it jammed his foot in between the throttle and the firewall.
Ooh.
But it just, all of a sudden, when it happened, we run up there to it. Mike, you all right? I'm okay. What the hell happened? Run out of breath, bro.
But you're right, it could do that because you were the whole time you were on the wood.
Oh man, you're
up
hanging
against
on.
it, and you can hold your breath.
And see, it's different when he run. It didn't have that guardrail on the backstretch.
Right.
I got videos of him. If you didn't hang a right rear tire off that back wall, you didn't cut a lap.
Right.
And it's just so different when they put the wall around it. Man, it really changed it. But yeah, he done so much for that racetrack, and we hated to cut it loose, but it was a business decision. The facilities really needed some work to meet. Like, he had a certain vision of what he wanted it to do.
Yeah.
And he worked real hard on trying to buy the property for a decent, fair price. And
I'd seen where they had finally lowered it. Now it come back for sale.
it still ain't there.
It still ain't there.
It still ain't there. But
Now it needs more work than it did then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to put any more money into it.
Understandably.
So I think he said we made chicken salad out of chicken shit for a long time, and done really good with it. But we were just about there, with the price and in the negotiations, and we fooled around and done a thing called a school bus race.
Yep.
And it's a funny story because I didn't even tell him what we were doing on that one. I just called him one day and, Bob, I need to pick up a check from you. We were out at the track on our normal Friday nights, and this is about 6 months before. And so what can we do that's different? We need to do something that's different. And somebody brought up, hey, we need to race motorhomes.
Yeah,
we race some motorhomes. I said, well, that's a great idea.
Motorhomes,
but there's a problem. I said, we live in South Alabama.
Right.
If there's a motorhome running, some redneck's living in it, or
Uh-huh.
somebody's cooking meth in it.
Right, that's a fact.
I said, that's going to be hard to do.
Ain't many available.
Yeah, and the same way, so let's race pickup trucks. Let's build a ramp out there, and we can make like a little obstacle course kind of thing. I said, again, we're in South Alabama. There's a truck running. It don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Some redneck's going to be
hauling groceries.
It's going to be a dog box on it or something, and that's one of the things I kind of wanted to do. I'll come back to that, but I wanted to do a little jump course. And the rules were you had to have a whip antenna and a dog box.
Oh, you'd have half a Blackwater there.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. I would have loved to have done that. And
I got one out in her right now.
Yeah, and sort of a redneck style of a tractor pull.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite figure that one out, but neither here nor there. But I called him. We ended up on school buses, and I just called him. It took me a while, but I found 3 of them. He had one that we used to store fuel tanks in, and I found 3 more over in Andalusia. Andalusia City Schools had them, and we called. I called and I negotiated the price, and I got them down to $1,100. Wow. The scrapyard was going to give them $1,500 for them.
Right.
I said, look, we're going to raise a little bit of money for the Shriners.
Yeah.
Children's hospitals and their transportation network, which we did a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think we raised over $100,000 in the 10 years for nonprofit
Oh, wow.
organizations throughout that time. Most of it to the Shriners, or a good bit of it to the Shriners.
Oh.
Very helpful with them. But I just called him, and so I looked at it like, man, we already got equity in this race.
Mm-hmm.
We're already profitable before we open the gate.
Right.
So I said, this is a pretty safe bet. So I called him up and said, Bob, I need to get a check from you, $3,300. What's it for? I said, I'll get with you later on and I'll explain it to you. And he said, all right, just go by.
That's trust right there.
Go by your granny's and pick it up. She'll write you one. I said, all right. So I went and picked it up. I didn't tell her what I was doing either. Me and Adam and Justin jumped in the truck and drove over to Andalusia. I ain't never drove no cotton picking bus in my life. Ain't got no CDLs.
You're supposed to have a CDL at a passenger endorsement.
We ain't had none of that. Ain't never drove nothing like that.
They're going to figure it out today.
Yeah, I went over there, and they had these buses parked in this little bitty fenced-in area, where that school is. It's sort of older streets. And they had them real tight in there. And I went over there and I told the ladies, man, this thing's in here pretty tight. Can you get your guys to pull them out of this yard? I don't want to be responsible for tearing up anything on, y'all's property. They said, oh, yeah, we'll do that. So they pulled them out there on the road. I went in and done the business, and with her, got the titles and all that stuff signed over, bill of sale. She got the check. And she said, okay, I just need a copy of y'all's CDLs, passenger endorsements, and we'll be good to go. I said, I got the titles, you got the check, and the bill of sale is signed, and they on a public road. We out.
That's awesome. Then you played that perfect.
So we took off. And,
anybody else would have been hung up there.
we got them buses back to the you should have seen us trying to get some fuel, and of course they were empty. And we was all circling that gas station trying to line up with the fuel pump. It was like a parade out there. And we got $30, $40 in each one of them, and we come on, and we got to the racetrack with him, and he pulled up right before we got there.
Right.
And we come rolling in with these 3 school buses, and he's, what in the shit is this? And we'd stopped at Walmart there in Andalusia, and I bought $100 worth of spray paint.
Yeah.
And we tagged the side of these things. I said, we're going to race school buses. And he said, ain't nobody going to come out and watch it. We're going to have to get some radio DJs and, Marty White and, whoever else to come and do this. And I said, oh, don't worry about it, Pop. We'll take care of that. Yeah. I'll make some calls. I ain't calling nobody. Yeah. We're going to race these things, And that come along that Saturday afternoon.
Y'all hyped it up pretty good.
Yeah. Who's going to, but that $100 is all we spent on advertising.
Really?
All the money we spent.
Really?
And that Saturday afternoon, he found out that we were going to drive them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy with me.
Right.
He said, ain't nobody going to watch you idiots race these daggone buses. This just ain't going to work. Well, come race time, the line to get in
I remember it was
is
huge.
all the way out to the back road of the parking lot.
Yeah.
And cars parking at the church all the way up 113. And I ain't never seen it. He had run out of seating, and he come and found me. He said, I need you come here. He opened the gate, and we was pulling in trucks, backing trucks up there to turn 4. And I got him, and I said, come out here with me. And I rode him out on the back stretch over in turn 3. I said, look at all these people. We needed 50 more people to have doubled the previous attendance record.
Oh, wow.
To have doubled it off $100. Now, he never gave me any money for advertising.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 years of running that track, I think we spent less than $5,000 in advertising. In 10 years.
Oh,
Not $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let me do it.
All right.
So we had, he said, you'll find a way.
Yeah.
He just sort of challenged me like that. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And
that's why the Facebook came around.
Yeah. And I went over there and showed him, all them people. And I said, what do you think about this? He said, it's a hell of a lot better than what I thought it was going to turn out. And so we went and raced those things. And, of course, he was worried about us tearing them up. And he was showing out. I could see him while we were out there running them that first night. And we were beating and banging and cutting up. And he just all flustered and Adam ended up flipping.
I was about to say, one of them
he cut
on the side.
Yeah, he cut down over my nose and ended up flipping. And
Yeah, you didn't
turned
give him no
himself.
slack.
I was there.
He said, I was there. I held my line.
I just held my line, and he ended up flipping, and the crowd just went insane.
Yeah.
And he knew then that we were on.
Oh, yeah.
That we hit the home run, and he come up to us later that night, and I think Adam asked him, "Well, Pop, are we still idiots?" And he said, "Yep, but y'all my idiots."
I love it. That's
but that night, the ones that owned it come out there,
right,
and they saw just a sea of people.
And that's what they judged the whole thing off of. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they come back, went from a reasonable, we were almost there.
right.
I had it bought for $130,000. I was ready to hand the money over for the old woman that owned it. But meantime, she died, and her son and daughter went crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's and 130,000 went to 785.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
And it was a 10-year lease with a 10-year option.
Mm.
And I think he would have probably went on with another 10 years, but I kind of talked him out of it and said, this is what, this was the goal.
Yeah.
And this is what we need to do to achieve that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about dumping a lot of money.
Yeah,
to
and
get
you
it
can't
that
do that
goal.
on something you don't own.
And we don't own it.
Yeah.
And we already know what kind of greed we're dealing with. And the day that we were hauling the pipe wall in,
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things have changed over 10 years. The day that we were hauling the pipe wall in, my wife took a pregnancy test, found out we were expecting my daughter.
Right.
And then Owen, he come along. And we'll talk about that, opportunities that he has created and sort of his legacy in a minute. But, a lot of things had changed in life, too.
Oh, yeah.
He owned the pipeline patrol company, aviation company, and
Yeah.
it was just blowing and going. And I'd ventured off into a few other things, and, we had to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And what is going to pay off longer? Where do we need to dedicate ourselves to? And, we had to make the decision to not take on another 10 years.
Well, I mean, you can't. You have to do what's best for you as a family and a business. And I mean, I don't think anybody is mad at y'all from a motorsports standpoint. I mean, we all hate the racetrack closed, but I mean, like you said, I mean, it's just it happened.
It's got to make financial sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that the old place could be saved. You know what I mean? If somebody came in and wanted to take on that responsibility, I do think it could be saved. But I mean, y'all own most of the infrastructure that was there anyway, and so, I can see it on both sides. I can totally understand, why y'all made the decision that you made.
Yeah. And, we done a lot of great things. His legacy is, I mean, even before the racetrack was, he's my hero.
Yeah. Legend.
And always will be. And, the things that he's done for me, but his legacy has gone so far beyond that, just in that 10-year span.
Yeah.
Started, we really didn't change a whole lot when we took it over. Jimmy Goodwin sort of set a great model, and he was a really good promoter and very innovative. And we didn't stray far from that model, but we did do a few other things along the way. And one of the things that we've done, I think is going to be his legacy for many, many years now, is the slingshot division.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else has bought into that the way he did. I mean, he started it.
Mm-hmm.
And we found these cars, and we were looking for a way to, he got looking at the problem, and, they start this class and they start this class and do this. All you're doing is moving some from here to here.
Yeah.
There is no farming. There's no growing of the class.
Yep.
And we found these slingshots, and he liked the idea of it. We went and met the man and talked to him. Me and him used to go down every year to Daytona to the RPM workshop, Race Promotions Monthly workshop, and learned so much, done so much networking, and got so many ideas. And that's sort of how we learned about this class. And he got to thinking about it. We could we could get kids started in
Right.
this. And because there's such a big gap from just carts
Mm-hmm.
to, a V8 stock car or, front wheel drive car.
Well, I think it's
But-
a better avenue than going kart racing because kart's expensive, man. I
Well,
mean,
they're
it's-
Well, the other problem with the carts is it's at a different racetrack
Right.
than what the parents race at.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
100%.
a lot of tracks done like a matinee show. They would do the slingshots early in the night and then didn't do that. But, like you said, you get, dad gets to race.
Yeah.
And kid gets to race, and you're all there and you're participating. And, there was a big gap between carts and V8 cars or carts and front wheel drive cars. And there's a huge disconnect between front wheel drive cars and rear wheel drive cars. So
Absolutely.
you don't always get a positive transfer from one
Right.
to the other. Say you have 10 kids starting front wheel drive class, you may only transfer 2 or 3 of those
Right.
to a rear wheel drive car
Mhm.
past the first year of them being in that rear wheel drive car because there's such a disconnect there. And he saw that, and we decided to go up to Pennsylvania, and I facilitated it. Made a few phone calls, and we found 6 of these cars at a time, and we'd go up there and get them. And we were paying $4,000, or he was paying $4,000 for the cars.
Mhm.
We'd bring them back 5 at a time, and he was selling them for $4,250.
Man, that ain't even enough to pay for the fuel up there. That's
That was
strong.
just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough to cover the cost of the trip, and that's what the markup was.
Mhm.
So no greed.
Yeah. Right.
No greed to it at all. How many trips we made? 4, 5, 6 of those trips. I don't remember, but Pennsylvania's a long way,
Yes, it is.
and but we brought those things back and we sold them one at a time. We'd get them all sold. We'd go up there and get some more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had done the count not long ago, and so far 19 kids have graduated out of the slingshots
Mm-hmm.
up to
Big
upper
cars.
divisions.
Oh, that's
And not
strong.
not just the pure stock.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you got the Morris kid running late models.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Hamilton's boy, Brody Gibson
Yep.
is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Owen, come here. You got so many of these kids that are coming up through that, and they're graduating up to good classes. He had Seth's sister, Lily, his granddaughter, started in on them, and it's just a really watch it. It's just such a good class for them to get started in, and the way they graduated up through there, man, it's just there's nothing else even close. And if there's one thing I wish they would do, and Scott's done a really good job of supporting the class, and Tom's sort of come along too, but I wish that they would push that a little more.
Yeah.
Build certain tracks, and this is something that he would not let them run on the big track.
Well, and that's what Greg Hopkins in his interview, he loved that little track that y'all built on the infield. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah. His daughter is the best racer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, period.
Mhm.
As far as car control and throttle control, Haley Hopkins,
Mhm.
once she finally gets done with softball
Mhm.
and college and everything else, I want her to be in a big car, and she's going to wear her daddy's ass out. She is so good.
Well, that's what he said he liked about the little track too. Is it had throttle control. With the big ones, it's just wide open momentum.
Yeah.
And when you,
You
got
gotta
the little
hustle
one, they would actually learn to drive and throttle control and line and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that was him.
Mhm.
That was him. He refused to put them on the big track. He wanted them to learn car control.
Yep.
And so 19 so far.
That's
And it's growing. It's
Mhm.
continuing.
That's a whole field of a
Yeah.
class.
I mean, most of those carts that are still running are the original cars that y'all brought down here. They keep changing hands, and
Mhm.
this kid will graduate, so dad will sell it to somebody else for his kid. I mean, it just kind of keeps
And
going.
We got good people supporting it now. Craig Crossley is one of the he's doing a really good job of keeping that stuff organized and not letting the cars leave the area.
Right.
Once they get here,
Right.
let's put a wall up.
Yep.
And let's keep those cars in the area. But
Yeah.
that is his legacy. That's one of his greatest legacies to me, is what he has done for the younger
next generation
generation.
coming. Yeah.
And he's done so much to help all these racers throughout the years, with parts and know-how and whatever throughout all the years. And you just put, and probably by the time probably by the time that class actually phases out, I would really think he would have been responsible for creating 50 new racers.
Yeah.
And this is Owen. This is my son. He just started.
This is the next generation.
This is the fourth generation.
Yep.
So just another part of his legacy
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. It really is.
So I don't think if there was a Hall of Fame, he's first ballot.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
First ballot.
Yes.
And that's something I wish they would create around here.
I really,
In a museum.
well,
These pictures, I mean, the parts, I mean.
It's only going away.
Mhm.
well, and that's the thing. If we could get the southeastern region is very rich in motorsports. It's the history that has come through here. We
So
just talked
rich.
about the Alabama gang,
Mhm.
the McCalls, the Crenshaws, there's been a lot of people, even in today's era. I mean, Chase Elliott cut his teeth here. He's a NASCAR champion now. And there's just so much history through the Southeast. And they have a Georgia Hall of Fame. And I think that they do have an Alabama Motorsports Hall of Fame, but we don't have anything in Northwest Florida.
Well, even the Alabama Motorsports Hall of Fame doesn't really touch this area. It's sort of
It's got kind of like a clique, ain't it?
It's a club.
Yeah.
It's a club. You got to be a member. You got to be a paying member of it before you're eligible.
Mm.
And then it's just those guys. And so it's really a tight club. And, I wish there was something. I think I've posted on Facebook, at times who would be, if there was a local Hall of Fame, name your first 5 inductees,
Mm-hmm.
and this really, it was a lot of fun. I'd love to do it again, but some of the names that was posted on there, in response to that, his name come up probably more than anybody's.
Yeah.
But your buddy Crenshaw, Larry Lameth was
Yep.
on there, Barney Barnhill.
Yep.
There's like you said, there's such a rich history, and that's what you guys are doing is deriving some of that history out with this podcast. And the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit with this thing.
With the economy back on the rise and interest rates coming down, if you're looking for a new home in the Panhandle area, give Levada Burrows McIntyre a call with Century 21 BE3. She's been serving the Panhandle, helping buyers and sellers achieve all of their real estate needs. Give her a call at 850-554-2180 or find her on her website at levadasales.com.
We're really excited of where this can go. We're going to get a studio built, and we're going to have. I would love to get copies of some of these pictures to hang in our studio. You know what I mean? And have some of the for their future guests that are coming on. If you have some of these pictures, old pictures, bring them with you when you come to talk. We can make copies of them.
Well, we talk about how rich racing is here,
Mhm.
and something I thought about the other day that I wanted to point out. I lived in Mooresville, North Carolina when I went to school. All right, Race City, USA. When they say the birthplace of racing, there's all kind of claims to that. And I can tell you, there is more racetracks in a 100-mile radius where I'm sitting right now than there is in Mooresville, North Carolina.
In Race City, USA.
In Race City, USA.
Yeah.
I can go to more racetracks from right here than I could there.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a shorter drive.
I wish there was a place that we could, have a building at a racetrack, something so we can preserve
Yes.
this history because
It's going away. That's the whole reason why we're doing this podcast.
how he's lasted as long
Yeah.
as he's had
Yeah.
doing all the stuff he's done through his years. But
Yeah.
this is a living legend right here.
Yeah.
And there are so many that have went on before.
Well,
I found a picture of Joe Wallace in here.
yeah. At a birthday party that y'all threw for him. I mean, that's crazy.
There's so many guys that have went on. It's just I wish we had a place to preserve this history, but you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
And
I'm telling you, and we've
in
said,
the digital world,
right?
Mhm.
And we've said this before, but I mean, one of the main reasons why we're doing this is, and the inspiration or whatever is Richard Worsham. He had a great story, had a great racing career, and passed away before he could tell it. You know what I mean? He had no avenue like this to tell it, and we want to get as many people on the local level. I mean, and we'd like to take it farther than that, but I mean, there's this right here all over the country.
Yeah.
There's local legends all over this country, and there's no outlet for those local legends to tell their story.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we're getting to do it here, and I'm so thankful that we're getting to tell everybody's story here. But, you think about some of these guys that we've talked about, the Gary Blues and this and that, racing at Hialeah Speedway and down there with Buzzy Rudiman and all of those. All of those stories down there need to be told too. You know what I mean? That people need to hear it.
That's one of the ideas. If this thing gets big enough to where it can financially support it, we want to travel the country, go into local racetracks and find their heroes and their legends
their stories.
And tell their stories
Well,
after we get done. We're in this area.
I think it's great. And if there's anybody listening that's, the business owner, it'd be fantastic to get in on the ground floor of this because I see the sky being the limit. I mean, it's incredible. There's so much untapped history in this area and stories to be told. And it's a great platform to do it. You guys are moving vertical, and we wish you the absolute best of luck with it.
I just thank y'all for being here today and telling the stories. You know what I mean? Really.
It's a passion that we all share in the area, and it's really cool to talk about it. And I love history. I'm a history nerd, so it's
me too.
I love to hear it. I want to back up real quick to the school buses real quick because I wanted to tell you this. When you did the school bus races, I think it was the second year. All right, I worked at the Escambia County School Board in the bus garage, and it was circled on the calendars. The date was that the whole garage talked about it. That was the bus drivers wanted to go, the mechanics wanted to go. There was a friend of mine. He was a mechanic and a driver. He would swap back and forth, and he that's all they talk about. I mean, and flipping the buses and everything. So it was cool to see that.
So I have to ask that question: was it a goal every bus race to flip at least one at some point in the race?
No.
Okay.
No. The first one happened by surprise, and I thought I killed him. I thought he killed himself. Scared the hell out of me. But no, we had the second race we done. We kind of scripted it.
Yeah, I was about to say,
and it was evident.
Yeah.
And it really showed.
The race didn't end until somebody was on their lid or something like that.
But hey, we want you to do this, and you cut down on me and do this. We tried to script it a little bit, and you could just tell.
Yeah.
It showed in the product. But after that, we said, we just said, to hell with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. We're going to get out there and we're going to race for a few laps, and then when it just let it happen, and when it happens,
come off the rails, let it go.
Let it go, and I think the second or third time that we done it, he was down on the infield in his golf cart with Big Tim, and these buses just started going all kind of ways, and they were running around that little golf cart trying to get the hell out of the way. I think they found a safe spot between the water truck and the flagpole. Is where safest place.
Right.
But he said, "Y'all scaring the shit out of me." And nothing was off limits. We had a row of signs. NASCAR Ron, who you have a whole nother episode about him. A lot of people got an opinion about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's great at what he does.
Yeah,
he loves it.
He should be in a Hall of Fame too.
Yeah.
As aggravating as he can be.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd put up a row of signs, 4x8 billboards through there, and somehow or another a bus found its way through that long ways. And it was Taco. His name's Alan. We always just called him Taco for forever. And one of them 2x4s that run along the top of that thing come through the windshield and hit his seat right beside his rib cage.
Oh,
and he had every intentions of killing me. Yeah. Once he come through them signs, I seen him coming.
Yeah.
And he had me dead to rights. I was like, oh, Lord. Well, I just seen him veer off all of a sudden, just pull off of it. Like you had the killer shot, but you never took it.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out what the world it was. And I look back down there in the infield, and they pulling on this 2x4 trying to get it out of the windshield. And I was like,
oh man.
Yeah, we got a taco on a stick. But nothing was off limits. We quit scripting it. And, Tom has run bus races over there. And a lot of people sort of come in behind us. Why not run them, I think, first after us? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you Flumers are doing this. Y'all need to do that. And we watched some of our school bus races, and they may have bumped one time.
That ain't what it's about.
Nah, Rodney Wing scared the crap out of me one night at the Street Stock Nationals. We were all drunk. Everybody was drunk. And
they drank at the street?
No, never.
It was right after Bible study.
Right, exactly. We went to anyway.
So where this bus has got 30, 40 people on it. I mean, and he's 3 inches off the wall at Why Not, going as fast as that bus will go. And I mean, it takes a lot to make me nervous in a vehicle. And I'm sitting there and I'm hanging on with everything I got. It's like, come on, please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. But we ended up getting it stuck on the hill right there in 3 and 4. That was that year. I think the pictures are still on the internet.
It's circulating.
Yeah. And he run it up the hill trying to get up on the wall, and the bumper got stuck in and it stayed there the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious. But
Well,
the bus racing thing was just awesome. It really was. It was really cool.
It's, we looked at it, the school bus is like the epitome of highway safety.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing should be safer than the school bus, and we're going to violate the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah. Those buses are still up there, ain't they?
There's a few of them still up there. Kind of difficult to move them. But, it was his idea to ride the kids around.
Yeah.
And not just that, but take them up through the pits.
Mm-hmm.
Give them something they don't normally see.
Yep.
And
let them see the pits.
my God, we have 6 buses out there, and each bus takes, 4 trips around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no kid rides twice.
Right.
That's how many kids you would have at that track. And,
Yep.
and then we kind of got a little out of hand with that, even just riding them around. We'd be out there bumping, beating and banging, cutting donuts and whatever we could do in the infield, just scaring them, having a good time. And they loved it.
Yep.
Like, any other time through the school year, you got to fight that kid to get him on the bus.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Not that.
Not that one.
Not
That
then,
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just something different and
Going back
extremely
to
successful.
Going back to the bus garage, that wasn't racing people. They didn't go to racing.
Well,
now Bobby Cox worked there.
Yeah.
And Alan Seitz. They went to the race. But everybody else, they didn't care about a race. But that weekend was circled on the calendar.
Yeah. And we always tried to run a fast show, or a fast class, late models or modifieds or something, because, street stocks and pure stocks were our bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And we doubled down on that.
Mm-hmm.
The most profitable year we had at that racetrack, we didn't run the first late model all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Made more money that year than we did any other year.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to subject these new fans to the speed and to the fast, and just trying to grow the base. And
ripping a modified around Flumpton was man, dude,
I'm
so awesome.
mad that I can't do it.
It was. You want to talk about fast? You get a sprint car out there.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
an out of body experience.
Wasn't it like 11? Wasn't a 10-second lap or something like that? Or sprint car the record, or was it faster than that?
It was the 10. It was in the 10s.
Yeah.
It was in the low 10s.
Yeah, that's what I was
Let's
thinking.
say because seven sprint cars.
Yeah. I just missed the track record because I was driving a 360 car one that he owned, and I was also driving a mini sprint. And second night, just missed the track record. My second night in the car.
Yeah.
Over at Flumpton. Flumpton, if you knew the line, you could get around it.
Yep.
And everybody, those guys washing up, and I could hold that line, and I just missed it, and was I run Friday night, but they made me start the rear in the big car because I was a rookie.
Right.
And then I went out there and I set fast time, and that was enough for them to say, okay, he ain't a rookie. Let him start, And I was supposed to start the pole. I ended up crashing my mini sprint really bad and ended up going to the hospital.
Yeah, I
that
remember
night.
that.
Oh, man.
And that's what I was most aggravated about, because I was supposed to start the pole in that sprint, the big sprint.
Yeah, I remember that. It hurt your leg or something, didn't it?
It just busted me up pretty good.
I remember that.
Ended up a lot of bruising in the heart, chest, all that stuff. Yeah, it was quite the lick. But those mini sprints, my God.
Yeah, they hauled ass too.
You ripping around.
Yeah.
And you just arm pumps up, can't breathe, forget to breathe.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went there, I didn't have a full containment. This was like way back in the day, but I had a regular racing seat, and it had come with a headrest on the side bolted to it, and I didn't like it because I couldn't see the passenger side of the car, so I took it off running around Southern. Well, we went to Flomaton.
You need it.
I come back out to Hot Laps. I said, "Is that headrest still in the trailer?" I got to have it.
You over there in the passenger seat with your head.
Oh yeah, you talk about some neck muscles when you get done, because I mean the whole time you're up against it. I mean it's
hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, so many memories out there. His legacy is going to be something that lives on for decades.
I'm just, as a fan and even as a racer, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful
Mr. Freddie Wayne, that you took care of us and gave us a place to race for 10 years. And truly, from I think everybody in motorsports would join me, but just say thank you. You know,
Absolutely.
I really do thank you, and I love you, and I think that you know, I think y'all really did a good job with it and did a good thing. To kind of hit one more thing, something that I want to hit on is you had quite the political career too. You were the mayor of Century for several years. Tell me about that. Did you enjoy being the mayor?
It was challenging,
Was it?
and I like a challenge, so I enjoyed it. Had a good time with it, and done a lot of good. I feel like,
Yeah,
because always fair with everybody. Didn't treat one way and one another, and I was just same every day.
right.
You come in, you got a fair shot. He come in, he got the same thing. He got a fair shot, whatever we was dealing with.
Yes, sir.
So I always just tried to be a straight up guy.
Well, and it certainly shows through your motorsports involvement. And I believe that the city of Century was better off for your input and for you being the mayor. And I know the racing community was. What else you got, Jake?
I think we've kind of covered it.
Micah, you got anything else you want to hit?
No, just like I said, you guys doing a great job. Appreciate you bringing him in and letting him share with others the stuff that I've been privileged to.
Absolutely.
know.
To see. Yeah.
And we're going to have you on as well and tell your whole story.
It's a comedy.
More focus on you. Hey, that's what we
It's a
want to
comedy.
We're definitely going to get you back because I do. There's several avenues and things that I want to talk with you about and everything. But I'm so thankful that that this show was all about Mr. Freddie Wayne and telling his story and his legacy. We've got the fourth generation with Owen coming in, and I can't wait to watch him grow up and see the driver that he's going to be. But guys, thank you so much for listening today. Thank y'all for making the trip down here, and that is episode 13 in the books.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Any unauthorized recording, reproduction, or distribution without express written consent from the Short Track Media Group LLC is strictly prohibited and will result in legal action.